top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go.
Hey, yo, this is Reggie.
This your boy Maceo, Real Deal Trucking, and we bringing another one of these good episodes about what's going on out here in these current events. Shit, Reggie, let's drop it, man. Let's talk about what's going on out here in these streets today, homie.
So, man, I've been with the market changing and the fuel prices being so high, it's resembling a little like 2019 and even 2008, you know, trucker bloodbath and the recession period. So what I want to know is, how is it affecting your business?
2019, I ain't really see a big effect. 2008, yeah. Like 8 and 9, when I saw the $4.50, almost $5 a gallon fuel. 2019, I can't really relate because I can't say it really affected me. But this takes me back to 2008, 2009, when I seen them fuel prices that was goddamn $3.80 and up. You know what I'm saying? The average fuel price wasn't this high.
That was a big jump.
But from right now where we at, bro, it's the highest I ever seen it. And I've been out here a long goddamn time, man.
Yeah, you've been out longer than me. Now, 2019, it actually did affect me a lot. I felt the crunch.
Okay.
So, you know, you felt the crunch in 08, I felt the crunch in 2019.
Yeah.
But what the people want to know is, how do you survive those times? For these people that's out here right now that's got, let's just talk about the owner that just purchased a truck last year with these high prices.
Better yet, let's just take it back to 08. That was my current, because I seen that shit, you know what I mean?
Well, speak on
So, you know, I remember my first hit was I was in Moultrie, Georgia, running produce. I was running bell peppers out of Moultrie up to I think it wasn't Bronx. It was Connecticut. But yeah, man, I remember the fuel jumped from $3.30 to almost $4.90. You know, not $4.90, it was like $4.50. By the time I got to New York and I was headed to Connecticut, I was already about $1,400 in fuel. And I was still on the same rate that I bid it at when I was at $3 and some change.
Right.
Took a huge hit, you know.
Took away from your net profits.
Felt like I was running the goddamn truck for pennies on the dollar.
Right, for free.
You know.
Sort of what's going on now when you looking at, if you're looking on the load board, if you're running the spot market and you're looking on the load board and you seeing loads that you normally ran, if this is, I'm not speaking to people like us that been in this for a long time. I'm talking about the newcomers. Okay, you just got a truck, you just got your trailer last year. You've never seen this before. So you don't know how to move. You shocked. You used to getting $4, maybe $5 a mile on your rate with cheaper fuel. So now, let's just say you running a load that's 1,000 miles that you were getting, say, $4,000 for previously. But now you're seeing that same load being slashed down to $2,000, $2,200. And your fuel price is almost doubled. Because you got to think, some places fuel is almost $6 a gallon right now.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. You're right.
So that slashes into your profits heavy. So that's taken away from your maintenance account. You know, what if something happens? You know, how do you even prepare for that? What kind of advice would you give? Where can you cut budget at in other areas?
Doing extra loads. That's the sacrifice. You know, the way I was able to do it, you know, me and the fam had to talk about it. You know, it was a tough time. Shit. Instead of me being at home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it was more like a half a day Saturday, all day Sunday, back out Monday. Sometimes, man, it would be getting home on Friday, but still had to leave midday Sunday to make that goddamn Connecticut drop. But at the end of the day, I had to put an extra day. Instead of me being at home, you know, on the weekend for 4 weeks straight, every weekend being at home running Monday through Thursday, being at home Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that shit was cut to about.
But how did that equate? How were you able to save money that way? Like where did you save the money at? If the fuel prices were high, the rates were low, where did you save the money at? Were you operating with debt or were you debt free at that time?
I was operating with
that's a
debt,
big-
bro.
the
Nah,
debt.
bro, I was operating with debt.
So that
And
was
I ain't
extra
gonna lie,
rough
bro.
on you.
I struggled with that shit. I struggled with
Right.
that shit, yeah.
Right,
And
okay.
believe it or not, as it kept, remember, 08 wasn't just 08 to 09. 08 went all the way to goddamn 9, 10, 11, down to 12. You know what I'm saying? We was bouncing back, but we still dealt with them high ass fuel prices.
Right.
It came down. It wasn't in the fours, but it was stable in the threes. It was stable, but we still was dealing with the other shit that came with it, the difficult insurance prices, the difficult
That's
the
another
prices
thing.
of the
Yes.
goods. But it wasn't as high as right now. It's the worst I have ever seen it. Ever seen it, man.
Yeah, because we got what if you would call a perfect disaster going on here where you have inflation like we've never seen before. Look at the prices on equipment, overpriced by dang near 40% of what we were paying a year and a half ago. The parts.
Everybody thinking the same way too, though. Everybody trying to make money off equipment. I'm not going against you about the parts. I'm gonna jump back in the equipment
about
because
your
that's what I do.
overall
Oh, bro, I
everything.
buy equipment and
Everything.
equipment is inflated like fuck. You know what I'm saying? People trying to make money, double the money. You got some old shit from 2001. You asking $15,000 for when the trailer ain't worth about $5,000 that I seen 8 to 9 months ago. Now you want $15,000 for a dry van. I don't even buy dry vans, but I just think it's ridiculous. Definitely think
So once again, back to original, and I'm gonna chime in on my opinion on it. Some of the things that I'm doing with my operation on trying to save money in between loads. What I'm doing, where I would just have my driver when fuel was a little bit more consistent, I would just say, hey, fill the truck up and we're gonna run. But now what I'm doing with my drivers, I implemented a second fuel card to where one of my fuel cards I was only able to use at this major brand. I'm not gonna name nobody. Y'all ain't paying no money. We ain't
y'all
doing
hear
no
this
promotion.
shit? Y'all hear this shit? So he talking about he incorporated his fuel cards.
You save a little money. So let's say if I gotta run from Missouri to Colorado, in between there, fuel could fluctuate from on the low end of $4.25 all the way up to like $5.80. So between the fuel cards, I'm telling my driver, hey man, every penny counts. Do not fill my truck up where it's $5.80. You put enough in to get to where it's $4.25. That's almost $1.50 difference. Let me see, $4.25, $5.80. That's a big difference. So you really got to go back in the coaching. You got to coach your drivers, or if you're driving yourself. Right now, a pre-trip is very important before you even leave with a load. You need to pull up that app on your phone, find out where the cheapest fuel stops are, buy what you need, and if you're not close by those cheap fuel stops, what do? Okay, I know I'm gonna need about 40, 50 gallons to get to this fuel where it's almost 80 cents cheaper. Hey, you got to do what you got. It's a little bit more work. Every dime counts just to save some money. And then also, when you negotiating these rates, make sure you're looking at your fuel surcharge.
Boy, that's a whole nother issue, man. We talking about rates, but right, yeah, I'm with you though. We gonna talk about the rates though, boy.
Everything is so tight. And another thing, relationships. The carriers. Like I know you got good relationships with your brokers.
Correct.
And your direct.
And that make a huge difference right when now, it comes to the fuel prices
on the
and stuff
broker
like
side,
that.
like I know my broker friends, they don't want nobody shabby that's gonna be known for breaking down, not showing up for the loads, unreliable. So if you got all that in your file and it's already a tough market, I like to use an example of you fish, right? So you brim fish, crappie, bass, all that, right? So you know when they go on bed, right? And it's shallow. You know, you was a little kid, you go out there, you got your bread, and you throw the bread in the water, and they just attacking the bread. So the fish, that's the carriers. The person throwing the bread, that's the shippers, the broker, they got the freight. So right now they got the advantage in this market, and they throwing that bread out, and everybody's attacking it.
All right. And you're absolutely right. But that's the conversation I just had with one of my longtime brokers, friend, you know, just well, we gonna speak on it. But right now though, what we're gonna do, we're gonna head out and we're gonna catch it up to another one of the episodes.
So I'm gonna go back to this. So we're gonna get into a little bit more of the juicier topic on the next episode
because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about it
because it's getting. But what you gotta understand is, man, anything you can cut right now to save your cost, and your fuel is your biggest cost right now. You know, even if you could get in a situation to where if you need to refinance your truck, if you could right now to get a lower payment, you know, I'm looking at all angles because it's rough on a lot of people.
But what we speak, but the thing is, you know, you refinancing your truck, are you really gonna save that much of money in this time? You know, is it really worth it, the couple of dollars, or can you figure out to save that couple of dollars somewhere else? And I'm sure you can without the headache of going through the refinancing of the truck.
That's true. That might be a little extreme. But your biggest cost saving is gonna be the fuel. We know that. It's gonna be the fuel. That's gonna be your biggest cost saving. Gonna be your fuel. You can't shortchange your driver. That's your biggest asset.
Well, also in your pre-trip, and you know, as long as we've been out here on this road, something goes wrong every single time that fucking truck moves.
Save you a lot of money.
Right. So again, it's a lot of. I think it's a lot of factors, but at the same time, small changes can help, you know, save just a tad bit over a long period of time.
Right.
I mean, again, we've been out here a long time. Right. We know how to weather this storm that's going on out here.
I'm gonna give them one more idea. Well, not even an idea. It's something that I had to do. The way I survived 2019. 2019, I actually downsized my fleet, and I did team driving. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that I actually dropped 2 of my trucks from the insurance and I parked them. And I teamed up my guys in other trucks.
But why would you park your 2 trucks though?
Because the cost of the way the loads were paying for solo runs in 2019, they were very low. So I had to figure out another way to maximize my income. So the expedited freight, which required a team to say get something 1,000 miles, where it takes a solo 2 days, they were paying more money because they needed urgently the next day. And so when I looked at that and I did my homework on the boards, and I say, well, okay, instead of having 4 trucks running with 4 solos, let me just drop that, cut my insurance cost in half right there alone. I dropped 2 pieces of my equipment, parked them, teamed up. I actually got my butt out of a truck by myself, and I teamed up with one of my drivers. We ran teams.
I remember that.
And that's how we made it through.
Okay.
You see, you have to come up with what works best for your operation, really. Crunch your numbers, do the homework, investigate, see where you can save money, because everybody pays different prices in insurance.
Well, and
everybody operation is different.
Stop right there. Yeah, absolutely. I was just about to take the words out of your mouth. Everybody business is structured differently. So, and that's the good thing about me and you. Right. You long haul, and again, I'm short haul. Right. So I look at fuel and rates a little bit different. And I do mine's based on, my business is based on volume. Right. So I'm able to fluctuate my rate within a $200, $0 to $200 range, you know. But that's something else we're going to get into a little later.
So we're going to wrap this episode up, man. Once again, this is Reggie and Maceo Real Deal Trucking. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next week on the next episode.
Stay tuned.
Here we go.